guys, so today we are going to be talking about how to make your home kid friendly without getting totally overwhelmed. So you may or may not know that I am the co-founder of a Montessori preschool in Washington, D.C., which has won Best of DC Preschools for the last 3 years, and I'm the founder and owner of a Montessori preschool here in my own house. So I am a huge fan of Montessori, and Maria Montessori, who is the creator of the Montessori educational method, which for those of you who don't know, Montessori is just sort of a educational philosophy for children on how to learn. It's especially famous for ages really 0 through kindergarten, but it can go all the way through high school. So Maria Montessori actually invented toddler tables and chairs. She lived in the she's passed away now, but this was in the early 1900s. She invented toddler tables and chairs. She believed in all furniture and all things being child-sized. She even believed in a children's home that the ceilings should be lower so that children felt like everything in their environment was sized to their size. And the reason this is because she believed in empowering children to do everything that they could, that they wanted to themselves. And what she believed, even though this was over 100 years ago, she believed that by empowering a child to do things themselves, they would discover joy in work and they would develop self-confidence. And here 100 years later, you know what? Science confirms that. I mentioned this earlier in the week, but Love and Logic says that psychologists say that the number one determining factor in a child's self-confidence is the amount of chores that they do as a child. And the reason is because chores teach a child that what they have to offer to the world is important. And also, you as the parent can give children challenges that are incrementally appropriate and developmentally appropriate as they grow up so you can give them these challenge via the form of chores. And that is how grit is really developed, is by overcoming challenges and by conquering new things. And then also they believe that they're an important part of their family, that their family is not going to function well if they do not contribute what they have to offer. And then that child becomes an adult, and in their mind they think, I am an important part of the world, and our world will not function well if I do not contribute what I have to offer. So all of that being said, it is so powerful to give your child the gift of an environment where they can be empowered to do things themselves. Maria Montessori has a very famous quote that goes something like this: "Never do for a child that which they can do themselves." And that is really hard, especially if you have more than one child and they're young and you're racing out the door. So, we're not going after like perfectionism here. I just want to encourage you to think about, not doing for your child what they can do for themselves, and trying to allow enough time in the day. This isn't always going to be possible, but to the extent that you can, just empower your children to do things themselves. So there's a fantastic book here called How to Raise an Amazing Child, The Montessori Way by Tim Selden. He's fantastic. This is I would say, like the number one go-to book. It has lots of pictures, and it just shows you as a parent by ages different ways and things that you can do in your home to set up your home to be child friendly and to empower your child to do things themselves. So I'm going to throw out a bunch of ideas, and for you overachievers, please do not get overwhelmed, and please do not go home and just totally try to do over every room in your house, because that's going to overwhelm you. I promise. It will probably very likely overwhelm your partner, and it will for sure overwhelm your poor little children. Okay, so I would recommend, I'm going to just throw out a bunch of ideas that you maybe pick one room in your house or one area in your house to tackle, and just go incrementally. Change up that one area and then give your child some training on how to do those things. and then tackle a new area. Okay, so the goal is to help you guys thrive and prosper and be happy, not to be overwhelmed and not to frustrate each other. All right, so some ideas are, and if you're having trouble prioritizing which area to start with, I would ask yourself, what would you be most excited about if your child could do this themselves? And take some time over the next few days to observe your children and see, what do you think they would be most excited about if they could do this themselves? All right, so I'm going to start with the front hall, because me personally, this was the biggest area of frustration and the biggest area of freedom, and the thing that makes me so excited that my kids can do this themselves. So in our front hall area, and everybody's front hall area is different, but the point is that you just want to set up your entryway in a way that your child can independently and easily put all of their stuff away. And you might want to throw in that phrase right here in this front hall area during this training of touch it once. Okay, so we have a shoe bench. I got a shoe bench off of Craigslist, and it has doors on the front, and there's little shoes, and then I just color coded each cubby. I just taped a piece of construction paper, and one child is purple, one child is green, and one child is blue. So we've had this shoe bench for years. Anyway, my kids know that we have 3 girls, and their shoes have to go in whatever their color-coded section is. There's also little drawers in this shoe bench, which has been really fun because they can put things like their sunglasses, or if they have a sun hat, put that in the drawers. And then right next to our door, and somewhere, you want to have a low-hanging coat rack of some sort. So like a ring of hooks, and the children can put their coats there. They can also hang their book bags there. And then a really lovely thing is to have low hanging artwork for your child. So in our front hallway, right above that ring of hooks, I just have a pretty little picture that I got from a thrift store, a little painting, but you want to make it beautiful for them. And yeah, so those are some ideas for the front hallway. Okay, for the kitchen, you want to put everything that is safe for the kids within reach. So if you can put the cups and the plates within reach, then they can set the table. If you can put the napkins within reach, then they can set the table. We have a drawer, a bin of rags, so if the children spill, they can go and get a rag themselves and clean it up and put the rag at the top of the basement steps. What else did I want to tell you in this section? So yeah, just think about what things your children could frequently use, and then figure out a way to make it accessible for them. And in this section, I wanted to talk about the power of a step stool. Oh my goodness, a step stool could change your and your child's life. If you don't have a step stool, we have 2 step stools, one that's a single step and then a double step. And with the step stool, my kids can just, man, they can zip around our kitchen. They can do everything. So I would encourage you to invest in 1 or 2 step stools. And then for the bedrooms, you know, a lot of Montessorians will actually drop the clothes thing where you hang the clothes on. They'll bring it down to the child's level. We have not done that because we have a bit of a storage issue space. We have a lot in our house, so we don't do that. But again, if you have a double step stool upstairs on the 2nd floor or wherever your kids' bedrooms are, then they can access the hanging clothes. I would recommend having a child-sized table and chair or chairs in your kids' bedrooms, so they can do stuff on that child-sized table and not on the ground. Have their hamper someplace where it's accessible, so they can actually take their dirty clothes all the way to the hamper. I recommend investing in drawer dividers that could change your life, and then they can easily put away all of their clothes. You can teach them to fold their clothes and put away their clothes, and little things like that are just going to help little children so much.